Hello, friends. This is Dr. Sam. My name actually is Dr. Sam Swapn Kwab Mung. And why such a long name? Because I was born in a Hindu family, but today I am 20% Hindu, 20% Muslim, 20% Christian, 20% Buddhist, etc., and actually 20% atheist because I don't want to be a part of a religion that divides people, divide and rule, and kills people, right? Well, today the purpose of my talk is about my beloved motherland that I'm really passionate about, and I fight even with people and family and friends on this, and about India, about India's growth. India just became the fifth largest economy in the world, beating United Kingdom, and it's such a proud matter for all of us in 2022. Now, as per the Morgan Stanley report, India is going to be the third largest economy in next 5 to 10 years, beating Japan and Germany. Isn't that exciting? So my question is that how can India become number one economy in the world? I've done all the math, all the calculations, and studied the different economies, and I think India can be number one economy in just 20 years at a $40 trillion GDP. And this is how it will become. In this video, we'll talk about that. But I have a little concern here. My concern is, if you are aware what's happening right now, there's a talk about a BBC video, the Modi question, and it basically questions the fiber of the Indian democracy on secularism. There's another article on Wall Street Journal which talks about, is India really a democracy? The answer isn't clear. They actually say it's not a democracy, it's now an autocracy, and they say it's, instead of being free earlier, now it's partly free. So in the World Economic Forum, there was a lot of talk about how India can be a $10 trillion economy by 2035. So it's a lot about focusing on the right things. So should we focus on things like temples, saffron, dividing people, or we should unite everybody and create number one economy in the world? I believe number one economy will be the toughest but the most exciting challenge India can face. Friends, let's be practical. Let's look at some numbers here. FDI, right? Foreign direct investment, foreign institutional investment. Every year India gets like 80 to $100 billion for the last 10, 20 years. Of course, numbers have increased. On the other hand, remittances from overseas Indians, $80 billion. If you combine that, that's like $100 to $200 billion every year in 10, 20 years. That's like 2 trillion. And that's what you see in India when you go to Bangalore, Hyderabad, Mumbai, Pune, India, Gurugram. All these places have grown and people have got jobs. Isn't that exciting? So let's face it, friends, it's all about markets today. It's an economic war. It's not an old battle tank war anymore. And look at three important markets. USA, $25 trillion market. China, $20 trillion market. Europe, another $25 billion market. That's like 75-80% of the world GDP, right? So think about it. In our political and bureaucratic stance, narrative or rhetoric should be antagonistic or support these markets. I believe it should support the markets, right? And think about the Indian farmers. If the manufacturing in India shifts from China or wherever, globally, to the Bimaru states, Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, that's like good 500, 600 million people, and you have units there, and you create products and services, and you sell to these markets in USA, China, and Europe. How much money we can get? Farmers, commit suicide, earn less than $2 a day and poor, but this can all uplift the farmers and make India number one in just 20 years. And that's my calculation. A $40 trillion economy where it is number one in the world. China is kind of number two with 38 trillion, and USA is number three with 36 trillion. I am actually excited to see that in my life, in real life scenarios. So I would be very happy if all of us as Indians work intelligently. I was traveling to Switzerland some time ago, and I saw that a lot of people in Switzerland were discussing about the fact that, hey, how come Switzerland doesn't have any wars? It is surrounded by so many countries. Because they're smart. They don't want to get into wars and dividing. They want to create an economy which is the best. So, friends, my thought is that read my book, We the People. Watch me on Dr. Sam Swapn Foundation, and let's create #1 economy of my motherland, India, in the world. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Ma tujhe salam.